Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Once again, Ume no Yado.
Yeah.
Amazing sake from our friend Sayako.
It's nice. You know what this reminds me of? It feels like a warm, like late spring.
Late spring,
it's got like that warm late, like I'm just sitting in the grass and just kind of like,
this is the time to have it because it tastes better chilled.
Yeah.
But it's not like a summer sake that you need to have really cold, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is great though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Japanese people who spend a lot of time in the United States and change.
Dude,
and I just want to say, I feel like we need to be very careful about this because this is
like 90% of our audience is like under this.
Yeah, like in our friends Banshaku, it's either people who live in America or like, oh, I lived in America for a while, you know?
Man, it's so funny because I'll tell you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're gonna correct me, okay? Because you were one of these people.
Oh man, I can't wait for
when
this.
you're going to Japan, or like when on my flight to Japan, you know, back when I was in jet, you had the ALTs and you had like the whatever their stupid acronym was, but the people worked in the government office.
Okay.
And they were like Japanese majors.
Yeah,
and they were just like, I've studied Japan for 5 years. I know so much about Japanese culture. Yeah. Can you speak Japanese? You can't speak Japanese.
I was
you peasant.
See, I was at the same status as that person, but I did not act like that.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
But you know, and it's funny because I think a lot of people who are interested in Japanese culture act that way before they live in Japan, and then after they arrive here in Japan, they realize that attitude is kind of cringy. Yeah. And it's like really unpopular and people are like, dude, can you just stop?
The worst part about that is, not to toot my own horn, but I've met those people and they're like, I know so much about Japan.
They're insufferable.
But here's the thing. My Japanese is better than theirs and I know more than them and I don't take that tone with people. So like I remember when I came to Japan, I had a couple of guys from Seattle sitting next to me. They were a few years younger than me, and I kind of took them under my wing when we went to Japan. But it wasn't like, oh, let me show you all of Japan. It's like, hey guys, you don't speak Japanese? I speak Japanese. Yeah. Let's have a fun time together because I can kind of help you around, you know?
Yeah.
But then I met those people like, oh yeah, Japan is such a great country. I studied Japanese so much. And I just want to say, sit down, man. And like, I took a lot of pleasure in embarrassing those people.
Sure.
Like when they were wrong, I pointed out really hard. Because like, there's no reason to be like that.
But it's just like, man, it's funny because you have people from Japan that are like that too, but it's the opposite. It's not before they go, it's when they come back.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll give you a really good example. How many times have you seen that like elegant artistic woman who went to Paris?
Yeah.
Or came like whatever European country. You could say like Italy or Paris. It's usually one of the two.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I went to Italy, I went to Paris. So that means I'm going to wear my little painter hat and I'm going to go to cafes a lot.
Yeah. Actually,
and I'm going to have the bob cut.
I saw that person in Brooklyn. I remember going to Brooklyn and I remember there was a clearly Japanese woman there who had a beret on.
Yeah.
And she was like in her fashionable clothes sitting having her coffee. And yeah, it just makes me feel uncomfortable a little bit.
And look, we're poking fun of this. If anybody actually like has this style, it's like, look, I'm a fat American, like, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta poke fun at yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just like, as somebody who sees this, it just kind of cracks me up because it reminds me of the people who were really obsessed with Japan.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I'll give you another example. It's the Cambridge girl.
The what?
The Cambridge girl.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's like a stereotype.
The Cambridge girl?
Yeah. So basically somebody, sometimes they're Harry Potter fans, but it basically somebody obsessed with British culture.
Okay.
And
sorry,
so
when you said Cambridge, I was thinking of Cambridge, the town next to Boston, Massachusetts, because that's where Harvard is. I used to go to Cambridge all the time. But you mean Cambridge, England?
yes.
Sorry, man. Sorry, in America, just as a small tangent, in America, they have so many place names that come from Europe. Like, I remember reading a story about a guy who told his family they were going to Rome, and they went to Rome, Florida.
Dude, what is it? Is it Kansas or Nebraska? But there's just Moscow.
There's There's Moscow.
I think it's Kansas, right?
Yeah, probably. Which is the least Moscow place
it's
ever.
Like some middle of nowhere place in the U.S. and it's like just randomly Moscow. It's like,
yeah.
What were we doing here?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, sorry, man.
All right, I'm gonna go on one more tangent. And then we can jump back to this. So, being a person from Washington.
Yeah.
So
Washington.
When they were thinking of naming the territory Washington, they were going to call it Columbia.
Yeah.
Right? And they decided not to call it Columbia because they thought that people would get confused and they would go, "Oh, you're talking about the District of Columbia."
Yeah, right?
And so they decided to call it Washington.
And now it's Washington, D.C.
And it's like,
it's
what are we doing here?
Dude, so I'm like a 10-hour drive from Washington, D.C., where I'm from, right? And I remember telling my friends that I was going to University of Washington.
Man.
And they're like, "Oh, have fun in D.C." I was like, "No, the other one."
Oh, God. It happens every time I talk to an American. It's weird because I never get this. So I always say I'm from Seattle.
Yeah.
Because I never say I'm from Washington because every time I say it, they're like, "Oh, so have you been to the White House?"
Yeah.
I've never been to the freaking White House.
That's the opposite side.
Oh my God, I'm from the state.
I know.
There's a big push right now from residents of Washington to rename the state as Cascadia, which I think would be really cool.
I think that would be a great name.
I'm in super big favor of that.
Because the Cascade Mountains really are something that kind of define Washington. Because you have east and west of the Cascades.
Well, not only that, but they define the West Coast because they go all the way down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's it really separates what the West Coast is considered from Middle America, right?
So I remember someone told me, I think it was either Washington or Idaho, where they were, or maybe, no. Is it true that they were thinking about making Eastern Washington a different state and calling it Lincoln?
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah. I don't know what they were going to call it, but there's been discussion about that too.
Okay.
Because honestly, there is nothing in common between Eastern and Western Washington.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. The cultures and the people are just not even remotely similar.
Right.
Anyways, that has nothing to do with to talk.
Welcome to our tangents.
People love it.
It's funny. I got to tell you. So in my main business, UConnect, right?
Yeah.
So the main thing that we do with my students is they don't talk with teachers. They make friends and then they talk with people.
Yeah.
And a lot of my students say, Arthur, I tried to follow what you said. Have a conversation about this topic with one of my friends.
Yeah.
But then the topic changes and I can't talk about that topic. And then I tell them on this channel, me and Austin, we have a topic, then we go completely off.
So that's the thing. I think for people watching this channel, you shouldn't look at our videos as this video is this.
Yeah.
Right? It's a starting point.
Yeah.
It's hey, the video is going to start with us talking about this. Sometimes we talk about this for 30 minutes when we have a lot to say, but sometimes it's just kind of go and do something else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's I think when we first started this channel, that was the big emphasis, where it's just kind of barroom talk.
Yeah, it's just barroom talk, just chilling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back. So after our fourth tangent, we're going back to this now.
So people going abroad and coming back, one of the things that I really notice is I think there's one thing that I think is really consistent regardless of a person where the person went in the world.
Yeah.
And it's basically this rejection of Japanese culture.
Yeah, right.
If they come back,
which
sometimes they don't. Sometimes people just leave and they just stay in that country. But if they come back, you see a lot of people that are just like, yeah, I hate Japanese culture. Japanese people are dumb.
Yeah.
Like I'm so enlightened on things.
Yeah.
And like, look, those are what I've heard, not my personal opinions. But do you think you have a similar experience?
Yeah, I see this a lot.
Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur Friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot.
As a friend of ours, you will get each episode ahead of time with no ads, so you can watch before anyone else. But not just that, you can ask us questions or leave comments, and we will make a special video each week answering questions and responding to comments. These videos will not be released publicly. They are for friends, members only. It's a great way for you to ask our opinions directly and for us to respond directly. You'll also get listening practice questions and answers that you can check. Answers are for friends, members only. Oh, and anaume mondai mo desu ne. So you can check your listening. But not just that, for each episode, you'll get a list of native phrases we said from the video, along with practice sentences and pronunciation practice to help your speaking as well.
You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not.
This is a great way to support our show, but also get closer to us and improve your English as well. For more information, click on the link in the description box, the gaijin, or go to our website, austinandarthur.com.
Do you think you have a similar experience?
Yeah, I see this a lot. I see there's like this pattern, right, where people don't feel like they fit into Japanese culture.
Sure.
And they feel like they can be themselves in Australia or the United States or England. And then they come back and they think, I have this social pressure. I don't have opportunities to speak English anymore. I can't be myself anymore. But the truth is, you can.
Yes.
It's your choice. Are you gonna? So the tough thing for, like I say, for us, we get the gaijin card, we get the gaijin pass, right? Because we don't look Japanese. So people don't treat us like Japanese. So the bar for us is super low.
Yeah.
But for other people, they have to act in a specific way. But honestly, because Japanese culture is so indirect, most of the negative things you get from here are not different actions, but people will just think less of you. Yeah. But I mean, if they think less of you, who cares?
Yeah.
If they treat you in a different way so then your life gets tougher, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people think this about me. Like it doesn't really matter. But so I see, it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable because you have these people who say they don't fit into Japanese culture. They can only be themselves in a foreign country. When they come back, they just think about when they could go back. And, I kind of felt that way a little bit too. But after being here for so long, I came to really understand the good things about American culture. Like I gotta just, it's not really a tangent, but I was born in Germany, right? And when I was in Germany, I was the American kid. I was the foreigner. I didn't have any friends. Then I went to Boston, and I was the German kid for the first couple years, and I had no friends. I remember people were like, "Are you a Nazi? Is Germany a free country?" This is third graders.
Yeah.
Third graders talking to me like this.
Yeah.
And so I was really resentful of Boston. I was like, I hate this place. Everyone is stupid, uncultured. They talk funny. I want to go
Dude, I completely agree with third grade Arthur. We would bond so much.
So one of the reasons I went to Seattle was because it was the farthest place away for me to go in the contiguous United States.
Sure.
And California wasn't really my jive. No. So I went there. But the problem is the same problems followed me to Seattle. And that's when I realized, it's not my environment.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
And then that actually kind of helped me, when I came to Japan, I was much more accepting of American culture because I had that with Boston, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's weird when like I talk with someone who has lived abroad for a while, they come back to Japan, and then they'll say something to me like, man, it's so good talking to a non-Japanese person. I feel like I can just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
And this makes me feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think you know, the longer I live here, the more that I feel like people have this big misconception that because Japan is like a collectivist society,
Yeah.
that there's no opportunities to really express yourself and just like kind of be an individual.
Yeah.
And there totally are.
Yeah.
But you need to make a choice here to do that.
Yeah.
Right? There's you like if you're in the United States, it's kind of assumed, right? Because everyone's kind of like
unique,
guarded, and like this unique person that you kind of see that around you, and you go, okay, well, I got to be looking out for myself.
Yeah.
And I think in Japan, there's this big push for everybody kind of working together and trying to make society better.
Yeah.
That I don't think you feel that pressure to like show your individuality.
Yeah.
But you can totally just be an individual here.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's really easy for us to say because, we're gaijin here and it's like, this is kind of natural, but like, if you're Japanese, you can just do that.
Yeah.
Right. But I think a lot of people kind of get into their own head.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, well, like you were saying, it's like, I feel all these social pressures and, I mean, I'm kind of simplifying things when what I'm about to say, but it's very true. You just like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so what? Somebody doesn't like you. It's like,
yeah.
Whatever.
On the other hand, though, so I'm going to share how I feel, and I want to hear how you feel about this. But
yeah,
when I go back to Boston and I go back to my parents' house, it's a little bit different because I don't have my childhood home anymore. They sold that house.
Oh, man, dude, my family sold my childhood home like 5 years ago.
Okay,
and it's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah,
because like I'll tell you what really upset me is when I met my wife. The year before we got married in less than a year when we met, which is pretty crazy to think about. Yeah. But I met her in winter, and the following summer I went back.
Yeah.
And I remember I would do like video calls, and I'd be like, I really want to bring you back here so you can just see my childhood home because I had a nice house.
Yeah, it's full of memories too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it was a big house. We had a pool. We had a jacuzzi. We had a sauna.
Yeah.
Like it was. I just really wanted to like introduce my wife to that. And then we got married, and my parents sold the house. They're just like, well, I mean, like, look, they're getting old, and it's like my dad really can't go upstairs, so like it makes sense. I understand why my parents sold it, but
right.
Dude, it hurts.
Yeah. No, and I get that. It's weird because like, so my parents live in a different town now.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to take my wife to my childhood town, like where I grew up in Marblehead, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And it was weird because I don't have a house there. It's like a 15-minute drive from where I live, and it's not very long, but still 15 minutes gives you a little bit of like mental buffer.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like, hey, I used to live here, but it's emotionally and mentally distant because we don't live here anymore.
It drives me insane because my parents. Okay, I'm gonna say some really weird names that most like
Marjorie.
99% of the people watching
Bethesda.
this channel are not gonna understand. Do you know Mukilteo?
Mukilteo, yeah.
So my parents live in Mukilteo now.
Oh, they do now. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Bothell.
Not Bothell.
Okay.
They live in Mukilteo now. I have literally zero connection with Mukilteo.
Well, yeah.
It's a shithole.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like Mukilteo at all. There's a lot of drug addicts there. Yeah. There's like criminal behavior and crap.
It sounds like Lynn, Massachusetts, where my parents
sucks,
live now.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the quaint little like kind of country town of Bothell.
Dude.
And not only when I say I grew up in Bothell, I'm talking about I was a 5-minute walk from downtown Bothell.
Okay.
Like literally I could go out onto the property of the house that I grew up on and see Main Street.
Yeah.
Like I literally lived in Bothell, and Bothell is this like really old, like
Mhm.
Western town where
Mhm.
it's like it used to be a cowboy town like 100 years ago, and it's got this like really distinct like culture built around it. And there's a lot of people have a lot of pride living there.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to introduce that to my wife.
Mhm.
I wanted to show my wife like this is my hometown. You know, this is where I would catch the bus every day. This is like these are the bars that I would go to when I was a college student. Like these are the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Right. And it hurts me because I got to experience that in my wife's town.
Yeah.
Because my wife's my father or my parents-in-law. God,
Yeah,
why
your
is that
parents-in-law,
hard?
yeah.
Why is that hard for me to say?
Your mother and father-in-law.
My in-laws.
Your in-laws.
They still live in the house that my wife grew up in.
Mhm.
And so like I got to experience a lot of the things that like she got to experience as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's really precious to me.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, it's funny you say
Yeah.
that because I grew up in a quaint old town. And now my parents live in a place with lots of drug addicts and lots of crime.
Dude, it fucking sucks.
I know. I know.
God, man,
It's like
much.
it's like
Dude.
my wife doesn't want to go outside of the
Yes!
house because
Dude, we have gone so far off the tangent for this show, but I really want to talk about this because
Yeah.
it upsets me so much. So like we went back and it's
Yeah.
like the Alderwood Mall.
yeah,
So
right,
it was
right.
this big shopping mall. You go to America, and shopping malls are a huge thing in America, but they're kind of dying now.
Blippy did an episode at the Alderwood Mall.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great.
I've watched like every Blippy show. Dude, he has like 600 shows.
I know.
Anyways, I got some stuff I want to talk about Blippy, like
Yeah.
off the air.
Sure.
But anyways, so we went to the Alderwood Mall because I wanted to get a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
While we were at the Alderwood Mall, so it was like me, my wife, my mom, and my eldest daughter Luna.
Yeah.
She was 3 months old at the time, and we were going to the Alderwood Mall, and in the span of 2 hours, because we went like to a couple stores just to look at for like some shoes that I wanted for work. In the span of 2 hours, there was 2 armed robberies.
Really?
One of which was a shooting.
Really?
2!
In the Alderwood Mall?
Is that not insane?
That is insane.
It's so crazy, man. And it's just like, dude, it sucked. I was so embarrassed, like bringing my wife to it because now when I talk to her, about going to the U.S., I'm just like, yeah, dude, whatever.
Yeah, dude.
I call my wife dude. I call everybody dude.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, dude, like we can go to the U.S. Like it's gonna be fun. She's like, well, can we just go to like Chelsea's house?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, can we just go to the countryside? Because like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Being, it's like she really enjoys being with my my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like she likes them a lot.
Yeah.
But
it's outside.
I hate where my parents live.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that area.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like that imprinted on my wife's.
Yeah.
And like when she thinks of the US, that's what she thinks about.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Like it's so funny because now, I grew up in Marblehead, Massachusetts, which was known as like the yuppie area. Like, Vineyard Vines is kind of like from that area. But when I would tell people that I was from Marblehead, they'd be like, oh, you're too good for me. You must be super rich.
Yeah.
But now I tell people, oh yeah, my parents live in Lynn. I'm staying in Lynn. They're like, oh, are you okay?
Do you live in a trailer park?
Dude, a 5-minute walk from my house, there was a shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
dude.
it's weird because we also live nearby the beach, which is nice, but that's where all the weird people hang out. So I hang out on the deck and it's nice. I see the ocean. The aroma of weed just destroys everything.
Oh my God, man.
So one of my favorite things to do with my boys is to get in the car and take that 15-minute drive to Marblehead, Massachusetts, and go play in the parks there because it's safe.
If I went to the United States, if I went to Seattle and I was visiting my parents and visiting my sister Chelsea, I would not feel safe taking my kids outside of my parents' house.
Yeah, right?
I would not feel safe. Like I'm not even talking about like going to like the town around them. I mean 150 feet away from my parents' house, I would not feel safe taking my kids.
Now, just to remind people, this is not all of America. This is just like the towns that our parents decided to make
retire
house
in, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like you compare it to my sister's place. Like my sister lives deep in the countryside. Have you been around like Ellensburg? No. It's where Central Washington is.
Yeah. I've never been past the Cascade Mountains.
It's deep in the countryside, and I think there's kind of a stigma with like American countryside, like redneck hillbillies, and it's like they are, but like they also have a lot of guns.
Yeah,
and I am a big proponent of guns because for some reason the cultures that I've been in that have a lot of guns, there's not a lot of crime.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because the bad people have guns, but the good people have guns too.
And they'll use them.
Yeah.
Right? And so because there's this threat, it's like everybody's armed. It's like you'll go to Ellensburg and it's like, there's a shotgun rack in every pickup truck.
Yeah.
That's just what you see.
Yeah,
right? And it's like,
yeah.
Wow, there's no robberies around here.
Yeah.
There's no like, armed shootings or anything. Yeah. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, it's just that's a whole nother topic for us to talk
I know.
about.
We've gone so far off the script at this point.
We were going to talk about Japanese people spend a lot of time in the States or whatever. But
so maybe to like kind of reel this in a little bit in the last few minutes.
The last 10 minutes, man.
The last 10 minutes of the episode. To reel this in a little bit, I think one of the things that I think that a lot of people experience when they leave Japan, and I think this is a really unique experience that everybody, I'm a little bit drunk right now.
Yeah, this is our second video from this bottle.
This is our second video from this bottle.
Sayako, this is great. So much.
Unique is not the word I'm looking for. Basically what I'm saying is you leave Japan and you will get this feeling is I feel like people are able to open up, and the reason why is because I think human beings are able to express themselves more when they're among strangers.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot of people in Japan, when they go to the United States or they go to Canada or Australia or wherever, even Korea, it doesn't even have to be a Western country.
Yeah.
They go to these different countries and the culture is unknown to them. But the thing is, the expectations on them aren't there.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're in a different culture, and people in that culture obviously don't understand Japanese culture. And so there's not expectations on these people to act a certain way or do a certain thing.
Yeah.
And so they feel like they're able to express themselves.
Yeah.
And then they come back to Japan where those norms and expectations are put on them again. It's like, okay, well, you're Japanese, you got to act this way, right?
Yeah.
This is things you do. They feel like really claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, actually, so this is kind of what brought us to that tangent originally. So, because I was going to say, since neither of us are in our childhood homes, we don't feel this as much. But I realize when I go back to the Northeast and I spend time with my family, I kind of revert a little bit back to the patterns.
Absolutely do.
Yeah. And my wife actually talks to me about it. She's like, Arthur, you're like a big baby. It's like, yeah, I'm with my parents.
Dude.
And so, yeah.
I was going to say, like, for me, my big thing is I get pissed off at my mom all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, my wife's kind of pointing it out. She's like, why do you get angry at your mom all the time?
I do, too.
And I'm just like, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, it's like, it's like there's certain things my family members, it's not just my mom. And so I was just bringing that up as an example. But, there's things my family members do that just, like, grind my gears. And I'm just like, God, I realize why I don't live here anymore.
But because it's kind of a familiar environment, you revert to the old patterns.
You do. You do. And I think that a big thing is you let your guard down.
Yeah.
And by reverting to your old patterns, there's a reason why you and I live in Japan.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of that is we weren't satisfied with where we were at the time.
Yeah.
And we weren't satisfied with who we were.
Yeah.
Right? And so a big reason why a person immigrates over to another country is like, I want a fresh start.
Yeah.
Right? And I think we've established our identities here in Japan. And I'm sure you feel the same way. But when I go back to the US, I feel like that identity gets taken away from me.
Yeah.
Right. And
You're kind of go back to high school.
I'm going back to my high school self because this is the only identity that I have as an American. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel really frustrated all the time. Like usually my experience going back to the US is I feel angry all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people when they're abroad, they get this like, okay, I've got my fresh start. I can express myself. And I come back to Japan. I'm just angry all the time. Japanese culture is stupid. Japanese culture or Japanese people are so stupid. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? Can't you see that this is better?
Yeah.
Like you see that people say this all the time,
right?
man.
Right.
You see them say it all the time. And it's kind of funny because like I'll often find conversations that I have with somebody who's been abroad for a long time, like at least a couple of years, I find myself defending Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such an awkward situation where it's like me, the gaijin, that like I'm not really accepted in this society. Like I'm still very much outside the circle, even though I try to be in the circle, but I'm still very much outside the circle. You know, listening to a person born in Japan tell me about all the problems and like, oh, come on, it's not that bad. Like things, you know, that's kind of true. But like, you know, here's this thing in Japan that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the conversation always ends up there.
Yeah, I've had multiple people say, Arthur, why did you choose to live in Japan? It sucks here. It's like, well, there are reasons why I like it here, but it goes back to what you said where it's, you know, it's not about the location. It's about the person you let yourself be.
Yes.
And the truth is that you can be whoever the person that we are in Japan, we can be in the United States too as well.
Absolutely.
It's just the environment kind of makes us check and be like, oh, we should be like this. And so that's kind of the tension that I feel a lot of the time. And, you know, going back now, you know, actually, because I've spent so much time in Seattle, so much time in Japan, going back to Boston, I can really appreciate it a lot better now. Like my mom and my dad still are like, oh yeah, this guy has such a thick Boston accent. He doesn't sound so unintelligent. But for me, like I can see it's refreshing, you know, and I can understand like the benefits of that. And I really want like the Japanese people who decide to live in America for the long run to understand like there's good stuff here too, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, man, I'm sure there were questions about this topic and we can answer that for our Austin Arthur Friends question answer video.
Yeah.
But do you have anything that you want to ask the audience?
You know, all that I ask, this is more of a request than a question. But like I said in the beginning of this episode, we mentioned that a lot of our viewership are people who've been abroad and have come back to Japan, or maybe they still live abroad, but they're like kind of clinging to Japanese culture because maybe it makes them feel nostalgic. All I ask is it's like, look, no culture is better than the other. Right? American culture is not better than Japanese culture. Japanese culture is not better than American. They're different cultures. And I think there's things that you can appreciate in both. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people who are Japanese and they've lived abroad. And when you talk to them, they say some really bad things about Japan. And it's like, to be fair, some of it's warranted.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, there's still a lot of really cool things about this country. I love this country so much. Yeah. And, you know, I hope that people can appreciate Japan in the same way that I can appreciate America as a person who no longer lives in America.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like one thing that's interesting, is I feel like I've become more patriotic of America the longer I'm here.
Oh man.
So yeah,
absolutely.
And so what, like I remember all of my Japanese teachers in college, they like hated Japan, but they were teaching Japanese.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like, I wonder, like I want to ask people who are either Kikokushijo, and there's lots of Kikokushijo who are watching this video, I'm pretty sure. But like, how do you feel when you come back to Japan? And do you feel like you have to adjust to the society, or have you decided to not adjust and to just be yourself here?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear like some of your raw experiences of like coming back, and I'm sure there's a lot of reverse culture shock too. Or maybe, because society's changing, maybe it's not as much, but I just love to hear those stories, and also sometimes, so we get messages in the comments sometimes, but recently not so much, but
sometimes,
but recently in the past, we've gotten like direct emails from people.
Yeah.
And that's when people write long essays. And actually,
dude, we've gotten some long ones.
But I like reading those.
They're fun.
Yeah. Because like you get the depth of the experience. So
for sure.
I mean, just let us know however you want. Man, this talk is really hitting me now. This is like,
I know, right?
This is our second video on this. We finally finished this bottle and we didn't eat anything before this.